Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of Nerdy Scores, a film podcast. I'm your host, Bryan Sudfield, and I am joined by my co-host, Matt Wapner.
Hello.
And this is a brand new podcast on my channel. I will still be doing my Films Up podcast every 2 weeks. This is going to be like a movie news podcast. We're going to talk about the movie news, the trailers, the Blu-rays, the new releases, and we're probably going to give our box office predictions. We have no idea yet. We're probably going to think about that as we begin the episode. So, yeah, this is an exciting podcast. I love movie news podcasts, and I thought it would be cool to start my own, but since none of my close friends are movie buffs, Matt's really the only one that's sort of like a movie buff, so that's why I brought him on to be my co-host of this podcast. So, yeah, let's begin. There were a lot of news stories this week. The first being that Ben Affleck, Batman, is going to be co-writing and directing a solo Batman movie. He's going to be co-writing with Geoff Johns, I believe his name is, and he's like a big part of DC, so that's pretty cool. Geoff Johns, yeah. And it's a pretty cool thing. I mean, I'm not surprised by this. This has been a rumor ever since he was cast as Batman, so like it hasn't really. It's not shocking to me, but it's nice that they actually confirmed it at long last. I mean, listen, if you cast him as Batman, you gotta get him to direct some DC movie because he is one of Hollywood's best directors working today. 3 straight solid films. Gone Baby Gone, The Town, and Argo. All 3 fantastic movies. This kid has only seen The Town and Argo, but he's able to comment on his directing style just from seeing those 2 movies.
He's just really good. Like, that's simple. And plus it makes sense. In the universe of DC, they need to make a Batman movie to flesh out what type of Batman we're dealing with here. Because this is obviously not the Christian Bale Batman. It's completely different, so the audience needs to know what type of Batman is this.
Exactly, and I think with Ben Affleck directing it, it's going to be something very interesting. We obviously have no idea what's coming out now with Geoff Johns,
yeah.
Excuse me. The fact that he's a big part of DC and that he's co-writing the screenplay with Ben Affleck, that's something positive. That's something very exciting for DC fans. I mean, not that I'm more of a Marvel guy, but I can respect that for DC fanboys and fangirls. So I'm sure they're all happy. I'm personally very happy about this news, and I think he's going to do a great job. He really is one of the best directors we have working today. And someone was like, "Oh, wait a minute, he's not even that good of a writer." He won his first Oscar for co-writing Good Will Hunting with Matt Damon. So right there, that is saying something. He's an Oscar-winning screenwriter, and he's an Oscar-winning producer, but he should have been an Oscar-winning director, but whatever, that's the Academy's fault. Okay, the next story is that Phil Lord and Chris Miller are going to be directing a Han Solo anthology movie, which is scheduled to come out in 2018. Originally, Josh Trank was supposed to direct the second anthology Star Wars movie, but he dropped out.
Reasons, let's just say. Let's not get into it.
And so basically, yeah, it's gonna be a young Han Solo movie. Phil Lord and Chris Miller are directing this. And the film is being written by Lawrence Kasdan and his son. Lawrence Kasdan, if you don't know who that is, he wrote Empire Strikes Back. He wrote Return of the Jedi. He wrote the upcoming Force Awakens. So, applause to you, Disney. Phil Lord and Chris Miller are every single thing they make. It's perfect, pretty much perfect. Clyde with Chance of Meatballs, 21 and 22 Jump Street, and the Lego Movie. I'm looking at Matt right now as we speak because he hasn't seen the Lego Movie.
Mm-hmm. Well, of all the movies, that's the only one I haven't seen of those you named.
And if you heard that, that is my typical face palm. Yeah, so that you might hear that a lot throughout the show. Just wanted to let you guys know. Yeah, this is great news. They're great writers and directors. Pretty much everything they do is solid. I mean, yeah, it's exciting that they're directing and all. I'm just curious to know who's going to be cast as young Han Solo. A lot of people are saying, I don't know. There's a lot of people in talks right now, so yeah, give your thoughts, please.
Oh, if I was gonna say, if they do, I mean, this is more like, I would think, again, like, I know this might be a little predictable, who I say might be a good Han Solo, even though he might be doing Indiana Jones as we speak. Chris Pratt would be a good choice as well, I would think. But it depends.
I think they're going for someone much younger because Chris Pratt was the age that he's now was the age that Han Solo wasn't A New Hope. So
they're doing young.
they're doing like 20-year-old Han Solo.
Yeah, I don't know who can play him then. I'm trying to think of actors that are very young.
Well, I wouldn't mind Taron Egerton.
That too would be good, Taron Egerton.
So yeah, that's it for those first two news stories. The next news story is that Academy Award winner actress Marissa Tomei is in talks to join the upcoming Spider-Man reboot and play Aunt May. Finally, a really hot Aunt May. This is actually really good news. Like, obviously the film is going to be directed by someone named John Watts. I don't remember the name on the top of my head.
Yeah,
and then Tom Holland's going to be starring as Peter Parker / Spider-Man. The film's coming out in 2017. And, Marissa Tomei's a fantastic actress. She's so good in, like, almost everything she's in. I mean, she's doing so many movies right now and TV shows. She's going to have an upcoming recurring role on Season 2 of Empire, a show I do not watch, unfortunately. She's really good in comedy and drama. The Wrestler might be my favorite film of hers. My Cousin Vinny, which I have a big confession, I have not seen that. Kenny, if you're listening to this, I know how much you love that movie, and I know that you hate me for not watching it, but I will watch it as soon as I can. And she was recently in Crazy to Be Loved, which is great. She was so freaking funny in that movie. This is really good casting. She's a really good actress. And it's just good that they're not going with an older Aunt May. Not that that was a problem. It's just, it's much better that they're going with someone younger. And she's not that young. I believe she's 52. So that's a good enough age. Like, Sudfield was in her 60s, and Rosemary Harris, who played Aunt May in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films, I think she was like in her 70s. So like, it's a little old. So yeah, that's how I feel about this.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I would say, like, I think that fit in the Sam Raimi's, that fit because he was like a teenager in college. But yeah, it would make sense though why they would need somebody who's like 50 now, because we're talking about like a Peter Parker that's like not even a teenager yet, almost a teenager, I would say.
No, he is a teenager. Yeah, he's like 16. No.
Oh, so is he still in high school then?
Have you read any news stories? Do you not know anything? Like,
all I know is that they got a young kid to play Spider-Man.
Okay, that's it for that news story. The next news story is that the Ghostbusters car and costumes were revealed today. We're recording this on Friday. We're going to record these episodes on Friday. They're probably going to be uploaded on Saturday. The costumes were revealed, full costume. Like the other day, Melissa McCarthy was shown in her costume, but now they showed Kristen Wiig, Melissa McCarthy, Leslie Jones, and Kate McKinnon in their costumes. And they revealed the Ego One. And I dig it. Yes, it's a little weird that they're rebooting Ghostbusters, but I think it could work with the fact that Paul Feig is directing the movie. I mean, Bridesmaids, The Heat, Spy. I mean, he's made pretty much all the movies he's made are really good. And, I mean, Bridesmaids to me is his best. I don't know why Spy is still getting the most praise personally, but I enjoyed Spy. I didn't put a review for that. I'm actually going to post my review when it comes out on DVD in the fall. So yeah, I like the idea. I like how they're paying homage to the first movie, the original movie. And you gotta think about it. Like, if you look at the costumes separately, obviously now they're classic, but if you look at them, they're like, oh, that's so dumb, but it works so well. And with this movie, it actually works pretty well. So I'm really excited for this movie. And obviously, like, we're going to talk more about Ghostbusters later on in this episode. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on this news story.
I think, honestly, that they kept the car the same was perfect. Because, obviously, you don't want to alienate any of the fans of the original movie. But also that you have to change it up. And, you know, in this day and age, honestly, if you just did the same thing with Ghostbusters, honestly, like, that's why the whole female thing works. But I think the suits, they actually don't look that bad. I actually dig like the type of color on them and the stripes as well. It looks more modern than what they did look in the 80s.
Yeah, so on to the next story. The next news story is that Disney is developing a Prince Charming movie. I really, really, really liked Cinderella from this year. I thought it was a really good movie. Matt didn't see it because Matt doesn't like family movies. So, yeah, but I really liked it. It was a big surprise for me, and I thought Richard Madden portrayed Prince Charming really well, and I'm currently watching Game of Thrones as we speak, so it's cool seeing him from Robb Stark to Prince Charming, so it's pretty fascinating. I think that if I feel like this part of me, I'm very mixed about this, to be quite honest, because part of me likes this idea because there aren't really many guy Disney movies now. Like, there's all these princess movies. Like, if you want to make a movie strictly about Prince Charming, be my guest. But I'm a little worried because it all depends on who's writing it, who's directing it, and if Richard Madden's coming back to reprise the role. I don't see Kenneth Branagh coming to direct this. I would hope that they pick someone good because Disney has recently been picking a lot of good directors. I mean, Cinderella's starting to mark. I mean, they have Jon Favreau directing the upcoming Jungle Book. They have Bill Condon directing the upcoming not Sleeping Beauty, Beauty and the Beast. So I like the idea of what they're doing with this. I just hope that it doesn't fail with Disney's live action attempts.
Well, they've been doing a good job recently, so as long as they keep going.
Did you see? You didn't see Cinderella?
No, but I'm just saying what I've heard about it.
Alright, next story. Back to Ghostbusters. Actors Michael Kenneth Williams and Andy Garcia joined the movie. Andy Garcia is supposedly going to play the mayor of New York. And Michael K. Williams, I don't really know who he's playing as of right now. He will be joining the four ladies, like I said, and Chris Hemsworth in this movie. And Michael K. Williams is a great character actor. He's one of the best we have working today. And I really like Andy Garcia. So, like, I think playing the mayor is a perfect role for him. And Michael K. Williams, I think he is going to do a very good job in this movie. Talk.
Well, I would just say it's probably a really good choice for Andy Garcia. You know, he's more elderly. So, I mean, I would think that's probably perfect that he plays the mayor.
He's not He's not elderly. He's not even that old, you idiot. He's only 59. That's not old.
Just don't even listen to me more when I say ages. Oh, God.
Oh, my God. Wow. I don't get him. I really don't get him. And now back to Michael K. Williams. He is in talks to join the Assassin's Creed movie, which will be coming out next December. The film will be starring Michael Fassbender and Marion Cotillard. It's from the guy who directed them in the upcoming Macbeth. Like I said before, he's a really good actor, Michael K. Williams, and I believe he's going to be in the co-lead role alongside Michael Fassbender, so that's pretty cool. From what I'm hearing about Macbeth, there's a kid I know who saw it at Cannes, and he loved it. It was his favorite film at the festival, and he's very excited to see what the director does with the upcoming Assassin's Creed film, so that's pretty cool. And if this movie turns out to be good, it could end up being the first good, maybe even great for video game movie, but we do have Warcraft coming out next summer, so that's something we have to consider.
Honestly, I just hope all these game movies that are coming, all the big four stacked up, Assassin's Creed, Warcraft, if I remember also Last of Us and Uncharted, right?
Well, it hasn't been confirmed.
Well, I know Uncharted, I think, is
it doesn't
confirmed.
know when it's... We don't know when Last of Us is coming out.
I know Uncharted, I think, is confirmed as well. I just hope that they break the curse already, please. We want a good video game movie already. It's been way too long.
No, you want a good video game movie. I could care less.
Well, people
if there is a good one, then
finally, yeah.
Good job, people. And then the last news story we have to talk about. This isn't really news. It's just something I want to bring up. The Iron Giant's coming back to theaters, and that's just awesome. It's awesome because okay, listen, people. The Iron Giant is one of the most underrated anime films like ever. It's from Brad Bird, who directed films like The Incredibles, Ratatouille, Mission Impossible 4, and Tomorrowland.
I think it was his first, if I remember. Yeah, it was.
I have no idea. It says it will be playing in select theaters on September 30th and then again on October 4th. It's part of the Phantom Events thing, which is pretty cool. But yeah, Iron Giant's a great movie. I love it. I love it. I think it's very underrated, and yeah.
It's a great movie.
Did you see it?
Yeah, way back when I was younger. Oof.
Why are you looking up Brad Bird?
I want to just confirm.
What are you confirming?
I think it was his first.
Oh, sweet Jesus. It's not gonna like tell you on Flickster, okay?
Yeah, I forgot Vin Diesel was in that movie.
You're not gonna look on Flickster. You honestly forgot Vin Diesel was in the Iron Giant.
It was that long ago. I just wanted to make sure that he was in it because I didn't want to say something stupid and not him be in it.
Okay, so that's it for the news. Let's go on to the trailers. We only have 3 trailers to talk about. There are like a few trailers that I didn't want to watch because I don't want to know what the certain movie's about. There's this trailer for some indie film called Brooklyn, which my good friend Scott Menzel saw at Sundance, and he loved it, but I didn't want to watch the trailer because I didn't want to know what the movie was, so it makes sense. So the first trailer we're going to talk about is Goosebumps. Now this stars Jack Black as R.L. Stein, the author of the Ghostbusters, Goosebumps, excuse me, Goosebumps novels, and it looks like a lot of fun. I think that I love Jack Black, so I'll watch that guy in anything he's in. Um, I like the idea of how the creatures from the books come to life. I mean, yeah, we've seen that before so many times, but in a way, it actually looks like it's gonna work here. And then we have the kid from Prisoners, whose name I forget, Dylan Minnette, and then we have the girl from The Giver, Odeya Rush, and it's so, it looks pretty cool. And I'm looking forward to it. I have no idea what the director of the film. And no, I like that the writers of the film are the people who wrote like the screenplays for Ed Wood and Big Eyes, and I like that. I like that. Ed Wood is a great script. It's one of my favorite scripts like ever. It's also my favorite Tim Burton movie. So I think Goosebumps looks like a lot of fun for families. It's good. I think it's gonna do very well. It comes out on October 16th.
Yeah. I like that though they didn't just be like, oh, we'll just make some lazy like episode like movie. Thank God they actually tried something. And I just think it's interesting though that they have Jack Black playing the author of the books. Because I remember growing up watching both the show and reading some of the books and how great it was. I mean,
Yeah.
that was great material. And honestly, at least like, I just like that idea. It just makes sense with him because he has so much shit that he wrote basically back in the day that maybe he didn't use, and maybe it's cursed. Yeah,
It does make sense, and it's probably the best trailer that was released this week in my
easily.
opinion. But that's not really saying much because there weren't really many trailers that came out this week. I think with Comic-Con going on as we speak, I think there's going to be more trailers released that we'll talk about on our next episode. So on to the next trailer, The Finest Hours. This is a disaster movie starring Chris Pine and Casey Affleck and Ben Foster. It's from the director. It's directed by Craig Skilla, who directed Lars and the Real Girl, great movie. The Fright Night remake, decent movie, and Million Dollar Arm, really good movie. It's about the rescue mission that took place in 1952 off the Cape Cod coast after 2 oil tankers were destroyed by treacherous winter winds and waves. A motor lifeboat's crew were heroically involved in rescuing nearly all the tank's crewmen. I wrote a comment on the YouTube page for this trailer, and I said The Perfect Storm Part 2. And I got like 30 likes on it. I just want to say that right now. It really does look a lot like The Perfect Storm, which is a film that I don't really care for personally. I don't think The Perfect Storm's that good of a movie. I think it's just okay. As I would say, it's very meh. So, like, I really like Chris Pine. And I like where he's going right now in his career. And I really like Casey Affleck too. But the film, and it's also a Disney film, by the way. It's also a Disney live action film. And Disney's generally good with these true story films. But it's just that as of right now, the trailer doesn't really. I didn't really care for it. I mean, it looks okay, but it looks way too much like The Perfect Storm. Probably because both The Perfect Storm and this movie are based on true stories. So that's not really a big deal. But yeah, that's. I just didn't care for it personally. I just thought it was very meh.
I just hope that they don't have an over reliance on CGI, and it's not terrible either. Well, I mean, it's Disney, so it shouldn't be. But for all we know, they might just break the bank. We don't know. I mean, the cast is a solid cast, and the story is interesting, so it could be good. We just don't know yet because it's just a trailer. We need to see more of the movie before we make an opinion on what we think is good or okay or not.
Yeah, he's right about that. Like, it could be good, it could be great, it could be bad too. But Disney, like I said, Disney's generally good with their true story films that aren't just their sport movies. So, in a way, it's kind of something good. And this guy has worked with Disney. The fact that he did Million Dollar Arm, says something because I think he has experience working for Disney, so it makes sense. And it wasn't promoted to look like a Disney movie. Like, if you just watch this movie, you would think it's just some normal movie. But the fact that they say Disney presents, or you're like, oh, it's a Disney movie. Okay. And then the last trailer we're talking about is, it's Alvin and the Chipmunks: The Road Trip. The fourth film, this movie comes out on December 23rd. Oh yeah, Finest Hours comes out on July 29th next year. By the way, yeah, this movie doesn't look very good. It's just a teaser.
Why?
But they sing Uptown Funk.
Oh god.
Why would they do that? So and then Jason Lee's in there probably just for his paycheck, as my good friend Zach Marsh said. That's what he said in his trailer reaction. It's true. Like, he's probably just there for a freaking paycheck. Like, okay, alright, as I continue saying my thoughts, I'm going to read off the plot. Yeah, but it just, I mean, the first one wasn't awful, but it wasn't very good either. The second one was okay, and it's the same way as the first one. The third one was awful.
It went down.
Awful. Very bad. Probably because it was PG, and because it was not PG. The first two were rated PG. The third one was rated G, and right there, that kind of said something bad. And they don't reveal the plot on here, so now I'm gonna have to go to another website. Excuse me, people. Okay. Okay. Here's the plot for this movie. Through a series of misunderstandings, Alvin, Simon, and Theodore come to believe that Dave is going to propose to his new girlfriend in New York City and dump them. They have 3 days to get to him and stop the proposal. Okay, that's a basic plot, which is fine, but I mean, it's probably gonna, I don't know how much money it's gonna make. It's coming out 5 days after Star Wars, so I mean, Star Wars isn't gonna be a movie I'm sure there's gonna be some parents that won't take their kids to see Star Wars. So this
parents.
It's going to be rated PG-13. Don't you understand that there's going to be some things that might scare the little kids?
Back in our day, fucking you're supposed to watch that shit.
Watch your mouth. This is a family podcast. Actually, no, it's not. It's actually not. Just to let you guys know, there's a lot of cursing in this. Well, he curses more than me.
Ow.
You deserve that. But yeah, this movie looks awful. Yeah, I'm gonna probably torture myself by seeing it, because that's what I do. I try to be committed to doing all these movie reviews where I see every big movie. And since I didn't have a worst of the year list last year, I feel like it's better to do one this year so I could actually say, oh yeah, I suffered for these movies, and yeah.
I gave up on the second film. That's all I gotta say with that. It's a dead franchise. Please stop. Please stop.
It's all about money, man. It's all about the money. As what's her name? Son, that's on. Who the fuck's name? That's who the
Jessie J. I don't remember.
I don't know. I don't know. Now I feel really, really dumb about it. Troy Avenue. So like, whatever.
I thought it was. No, it must be. I'm thinking of a different song.
Whatever. Oh, it probably was Jessie J.
It was Jessie J. Yeah.
It probably was Jessie J. But whatever. We're not talking about music.
Huh.
Yeah, it's Jessie J. You're right. For once, you were actually right.
Mm-hmm.
But it's called Price Tag, and it's featuring B.O.B. Okay, so, yeah, that's it for the trailers and news. Let's talk about the Blu-ray releases. First release, and I haven't seen any of these movies. I don't think you have either.
Mm-hmm.
The first one's Woman in Gold. This film starred Helen Mirren, Ryan Reynolds, and a few other people, including Daniel Bruhl and Kate Holmes. And the girl from Orphan Black, I believe, was in this. I didn't see this movie. I really had no interest in seeing it.
I know Shane.
I had no interest. Yeah, Shane saw this.
Yes. Well,
Shane never. When he told me that he saw this, I was like, "What? You saw this? That's the." And I don't get it. This movie came out like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
He saw it like 2 months after it came out. There's no way the movie was still playing. There's no way it was still playing.
It was still
Where did he go see it? He probably went to like Wyoming or something.
He went to Wyoming.
He probably went to Wyoming and see.
Yo, you got Woman in Gold? No.
And I didn't see. It really didn't look interesting to me. I heard it was okay from people. My grandma saw it and she really liked it.
It seems
but
like it was more like aimed at the elderly or people who like these fascinating stories, basically.
Well, I don't really like movies that focus a lot on old people.
Mm.
I don't really. I mean, if it's good, then it's good. That's why I couldn't get into a more, by the way, which is just ugh, whatever. The next movie is called Slow West. It stars Mikhail Fassbender and Cody Smith McPhee. No, Cody Smith McPhee. I didn't see this movie either. I really wanted to. It never came to a theater here in New Jersey. That's the thing that sucks about living in a state like New Jersey. Nothing ever comes to New Jersey ever, and when they do, it's too late. So I heard this movie was actually really good, and my good friend Chase Lee saw this, and he really liked it. So yeah, I'm probably gonna check this movie out, and I hope to review it before the year ends. So yeah, and it's from A24, and A24 is generally good with their movies. So yeah. Talk!
I'm honestly, I never heard of this movie.
Because you don't know anything about indies!
Not all of them, no.
You only care about the mainstreams!
Hey, I care. I have watched some indies, it's just I need more mainstream indies. That's a problem.
That was a facepalm, by the way. I didn't slap him in the face. Next movie is called 71. This stars Jack O'Connell, who you may remember as Louis Zamperini in Unbroken. I heard this movie was really good, too. Didn't see it. I don't know if I want to. I probably will see it. Because even though I didn't really care for Unbroken, I thought Jack O'Connell was excellent in that movie. And I could see him going to big places. I'm shocked that he's not even... I'm sure he's been talked to about being in like a Star Wars movie. And I would like to see him in the Star Wars movie. I would like to see him in something mainstream. Even though Unbroken, though, was a mainstream movie. But it wasn't like something that everybody went to go see. Even though when I went to see it, a lot of people were there seeing it. So yeah. Well, I'm sure the movie is good.
Well, I mean, he's a young actor. You gotta give him time. That's all I gotta say.
So, there are many younger actors. Look at this Cody Smith McPhee guy. He's gonna be playing Nightcrawler in X-Men Apocalypse.
Good point.
And then we have some movie out. On Blu-ray called Alex of Venice. Now, I have no idea what this movie is. So, oh yeah, it's with Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who I love that woman. It's with Don Johnson, Derek Luke, aka Antoine Fisher. Do you guys remember Antoine Fisher? Do you guys remember that movie? Great movie. Denzel. It's a great movie. What did you say?
I just said it's a long time ago. Wow.
Okay. I love Mary Elizabeth Winstead. So I'll watch anything with her. She needs to do more mainstream stuff. She really does. I mean, I love her in indies, but she's got to do more mainstream stuff. She's got to. Yeah. And Matt doesn't have any opinion because he doesn't care about Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Do you even know who that is?
The name sounds familiar. Never seen any of her movies. I don't remember.
What?
I don't remember. Name
what?
Me some movies.
What? You fucking ass. Okay, I'm going to tell you.
Now I remember.
A little movie called, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World!
Ow. Ow, 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 ow. You could just... Oh, God. Well, I do remember the Abraham Lincoln movie, though.
And she was in Die Hard 4. She played John McClane's daughter. And she was in Sky High. A nostalgic movie for me. Please watch that if you haven't. That's one of Disney's most underrated films.
Honestly...
And she was in The Spectacular Now. Great movie.
I should just let the audience know that I'm not good. Like, this is the same thing with every other things. Like, some names I might remember, but I don't remember what movies they're in, even if I've seen the movies already.
But then you remember names that are not, like, you remember names of bad actors, like, actors that no one gives a shit about.
Like Jack Courtney.
Those are my Wolverine calls.
Ah! Damn cat!
Cat? Nah, don't you ever call Wolverine a cat, you fuck! Okay, so that's it for the Blu-ray releases. Now let's talk about the new releases in theaters this week. Okay, so if we've seen it, we will give our reviews on it, or just our expectations. So, the biggest release this week is Minions. I saw this movie this morning. It's the Despicable Me prequel, spin-off movie, whatever you want to call it. It's how we get to know the Minions that we know from the other two Despicable Me movies. I thought this movie was okay. It was okay at its best. It was a cute movie for kids. It's definitely something that kids are going to love. I think your sister's going to love this movie. His sister's like 10 years old. Your sister's 10, right? Yeah, so she'll love this movie. I mean, the joy of seeing a movie like this is when you see all the really attractive moms. So that's something that's really like, because they all bring their little boys and girls. So like
man,
that's.
if you're looking for a fun time. Ugh.
And there were a few jokes that were definitely for the adults that kids weren't going to understand. I believe there was a threesome joke in this movie.
The 2 fire hydrants.
It's. I'm like, I was watching it. And I'm like, what? They put this in here? Well, at least, at least it's not. Well, at least they have some joke in here that kids won't get.
Thank God.
Well, unless their kids know how to access stuff online. But yeah.
Hey, that's our day and age. Damn it.
Yeah, but I would say if I just felt that like some of the comedy didn't work. Like it's still a fun movie. It's just unfortunately it didn't have that quality that the first 2 Despicable Me films had. Whereas those films were for the entire family, whilst this movie's mainly for the kids. And there are things for the entire family to enjoy. It's just that it's not as good as it could have been. I was disappointed by this movie. So like I would say if you're interested in seeing this, go at matinee. If you want to pay full price, go ahead.
Knock yourself out.
Go ahead, knock yourself out. So
they're gonna put it
my video reviews on my channel right now as we speak, and I gave the film a C. So yeah, that's the only wide release I saw this week. So give your expectations. Like, what were you if you were gonna go see this movie? What were you expecting?
Honestly, I didn't know what I was going to expect, to be honest.
If you were even going to go see this.
Yes, even if I was. I mean, when I saw trailers, I was like, looks okay. Wasn't like saying it looked great. I mean, I think some of the things were funny, though. Some of the jokes, that they showed in the trailer were somewhat, I was like, I get that. But I don't know, like, it just something never caught my eye about the movie. I don't know. I think it's just because it just looks so aimed towards kids, it seemed like, to me. Unlike Inside Out, which I haven't seen yet, but I want to go see.
Yeah, this kid has no heart, so he hasn't gone to see Inside Out yet. He would have gone to see Inside Out, but instead he chose Ted 2, which is a fun movie, but the problem is, he never finished the first Ted. So right there, that gets me a little pissed off. So like, if he finished it and he went to see Ted 2, I'm like, well, I'm mad at you for not seeing Inside Out, but at least you finished Ted, so that's good enough for me.
Bryan, that's a spoiler.
What?
That I didn't finish it. God.
Okay.
Now the audience is going to kill me.
Yes, the audience will kill you because they think you're stupid for not finishing the first film.
Get your pitchforks and torches here.
Okay, why are you quoting SpongeBob? Do you have to quote SpongeBob?
I was just saying in general, that's what happens when people get angry.
Oh, boy. Okay, so, the next release is Selfless. This film stars Ben Kingsley and Ryan Reynolds.
Sir Ben Kingsley.
Okay, sir, okay. Alright, Governor, we'll go by Sir Ben Kingsley. I didn't see this movie. I don't think I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna wait for it to come on cable. I was fascinated by the idea of how, like, Ben Kingsley is someone that's dying and then his mind gets transferred to Ryan Reynolds' body. Because, listen, if you're transferred to Ryan Reynolds' body, you get to be with Blake Lively. Okay, so that's something very exciting for us gentlemen, especially me, because Blake Lively is a gorgeous woman, even though I do not like Gossip Girl. Well, actually, I never watched it. My sister watched it, but that's something that most girls watch, but actually no, I feel sexist right now saying that. I'm sorry I even said that, but yeah. This movie hasn't been getting really good reviews. If you could check the rating right now on Rotten Tomatoes, that'd be good.
21 last time.
21. That is a little too low. Yeah, like it sounded like a really cool idea, but it's been getting mixed reviews from like audiences and like critics have not been really happy with the film. I'm sure.
I mean, I said like when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, this looks interesting. But when I saw who was directing it, I'm like, oh. Poor guy. I'm like, I feel bad for him.
Oh, I thought you were going to be like, oh, yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what the director directed.
Karam Singh. I remember he did another movie. He did Mirror, Mirror, Mortals.
Yeah, Mirror, Mirror?
And
well, you mean Mirror, Mirror, the Snow White movie with Lily Collins? That movie?
One.
That movie?
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, oh, this might not be good.
That movie's pretty crappy. Yeah. But
hey, funny thing, higher rating than Selfless.
But he did direct a decent movie called The Cell with Jennifer Lopez.
That was a while ago, though.
But that was like 15 years ago. Yeah, it was 15 years ago.
Poor guy.
Then he
man.
directed some movie called The Fall, which is like some
Well, that was like his early career, yeah.
But I don't know like if it's worth it or not. Yeah, but it's sad to hear that Selfless. It's not good, but maybe it does suck. I mean, I haven't seen it, so I can't say if it's good or not.
I'm just saying we're not done yet here. There's still more letdowns to come. We're not done.
There's really only one more letdown. Then we're gonna talk about indies. Like first, we're gonna talk about the mainstream, like the wide releases. Then we're gonna talk about the indie films.
So horror fans, you better be ready now to be very disappointed.
By
The Gallows, which actually looked interesting in the trailer, but still was shit.
No, it looked really dumb. It looked very predictable too.
Well, with the whole red lighting, though, I like that. Other than that,
Yeah, but there's too many found footage horror movies, and you know what's so fascinating? I looked this up. This is the first found footage horror movie of this year.
Oh, really? I'm surprised.
When someone said that, I'm like, what? I'm like,
Christ.
what? Really? And I'm like, oh yeah, there really hasn't been many horror movies that came out this year. There really hasn't been many.
Oh.
There hasn't been many, which is pretty shocking. I mean, yeah, we had It Follows, we had Insidious 3, we had Unfriended, we had, what else did we have? That already came, Woman in Black 2.
I think Woman in Black 2, which was first, which is, I don't care about that at all. I think that was it.
4 horror movies? That's,
Yeah.
well, I mean, some people don't consider It Follows a 2015 movie because it premiered in 2014, but it did come out in this country in 2015. So it does make sense. I mean, if you consider 50 Shades of Grey a horror movie, that's totally fine with me.
It's a horror movie.
That's totally fine with me, people.
More like a train wreck horror
Oh, yeah,
movie.
The Lazarus Effect.
Oh, yeah, that was shit. That was the first found footage movie, I think.
No, it wasn't found footage.
It was partly, I thought. It was partly.
Wait, you saw it?
No.
Oh, you said it was shit, so...
Yeah.
You should have just said it looked shitty.
It looked really bad. I mean, I like the... Again, another horror movie where I like the idea. But it was
Well,
shitty.
if you consider Maggie a horror movie, that's more of a thriller in my book.
Maggie, yeah. I mean, I didn't see
Oh,
the
yeah,
trailer or
the
anything.
Poltergeist remake, so...
Oh, yeah. That shit show. That they should have never made a sequel... Or not even a sequel. I mean, a remake to.
Yeah, and then, like... Yeah, there isn't really many horror movies out right now. The next horror movie that comes out doesn't come out until it's Sinister 2, and that comes out on August 21st.
Which
So that's basically a whole month.
Well, I don't know if you would consider.
Maybe this is the year of no horror movies
wait.
because you know why? There's all these blockbuster movies. There's all these sequels and like prequels and all this
never
stuff
mind.
coming out.
I was gonna say. I mean, you could consider The Gift, but I don't know.
Nah, that film looks meh to me. But yeah, The Gallows I heard was not good, and surprisingly, audience members haven't been praising it.
Yeah,
either.
it was. It's got like a 30. It had a 30% or something like that. Like it was.
Now that is pretty shocking because when I went to the movies this morning, I mean, obviously everyone went to
39%. Damn.
Jesus, like if you read
Even
like
Selfless is better than there's no people reviews yet. They haven't posted it, but people gave it ratings. Oh god, hey.
I don't get why they didn't. I want to see the reviews by the audience.
I want to see the movie just because how bad it is. No, I'm just kidding.
No, don't suffer yourself. Don't suffer yourself. But yeah, The Gallows looks really, really, really bad.
Can I just be honest? Why can't horror movie people just get it through their head that we don't like this type of filmmaking?
Because they're all made for a budget of $2, and the fact that they only make $100 at the box office, they're like, okay, yeah, we're gonna make it.
Funny story. I think didn't they release? I don't remember. Is the next Paranormal Activity movie trailer out? If I remember,
that was released like a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I just remember seeing that movie. I'm like, God, fuck, why?
Yeah, so The Gallows, those are all the mainstream movies that came out, the wide releases that came out this week. Like I said, the only one I saw was Minions, and I think Minions is probably the best one of this week. I would still be the best one, even if it didn't get exactly the highest rated reviews. It would still be the best one that came out this week. And that's the truth.
Unfriended is it? Now think about it.
Unfriended came out in April.
No. I'm just thinking like.
No, it's not a found footage.
It's somewhat
because it's filmed as a Skype conversation.
But who found this? I don't know. It just honestly, if you had a choice between The Gallows and Unfriended, I would say watch Unfriended. But you know.
Well, I didn't see Unfriended, so I can't comment on that.
Well, I can comment because I saw it. I would say I didn't think it was terrible. I think it was a fun movie. I mean, it wasn't great, but I think the idea was fresh somewhat. So, I mean, It Follows. I mean, now I think about it, I saw It Follows as well. You did too. And
I did see
We
It
both feel the
Follows.
same about it now. It's like, it was okay. It was
No,
meh.
now it's gone really down. I gave it way high of a grade.
Same
And
with me.
it's gone way down for me personally. I don't think it's a movie you could watch
It's
after
special.
once.
It's a special movie, basically. It's like, watch it, and you have to think
Yeah,
about
but unfortunately,
it.
the best reviewed horror movie of the year.
Was It Follows.
It's
I mean, I would say if you haven't seen It Follows, you should definitely check it out.
no. I'll say one reason why you should check it out.
At least one time.
Check it out mainly for May Come On Road's performance.
And the whole idea of it, like the whole
No,
concept.
mainly no. You check it out for May Come On Road's performance because she is a friggin' star. Okay, she's gonna be in Independence Day 2. So hopefully people know who she is now because she is a beautiful, talented, wonderful young actress. But yeah, those are all the wide releases. Yeah, Minions, The Gallows, and Selfless. Those are it. So now we're gonna talk about 2 indie films that are coming out this weekend. The first one I want to talk about, we'll talk about the big indie film last. The first one's Tangerines. Now, the thing is with this movie, I have no idea what this movie's about, but the cool thing about this movie, and I don't know if you knew this either, this was a film that premiered at Sundance early this year. And the cool thing about this movie is that it was filmed on iPhone 5S's.
Oh!
It was just filmed on an iPhone.
But isn't this like foreign? It's foreign, right?
No.
Oh, it's not. I thought it was.
It's English.
Oh, it's English. Okay, good.
But I didn't watch any trailers for this. I don't see myself watching any trailers for this. I'm gonna watch this movie. Now I don't know if this is a VOD and select theaters release. I don't know how it works. I'm not entirely sure. I'm sure it's in limited theaters right now.
Well, it's a short.
But I don't know if it's a VOD release too.
It's almost a short film. Almost.
Why? Because it's 80 minutes.
Oh, I thought it said 50. Never mind. Okay, it's 80.
Where are you looking at? 50?
I thought I said 50 up there. I couldn't tell.
Where?
Or the time, next to the rated R. I thought this said 58 or
Oh,
something like that.
okay. But, yeah, I'm just gonna watch it because of the way it sounds. The fact that a whole movie was filmed on an iPhone?
And unique.
Shane's phone. Shane has an
unique.
iPhone S. I have an iPhone 5C, which really doesn't matter because iPhone 5C is
And I
kind of
got a
stink.
Galaxy.
Boo! You and Frank with your galaxies.
Mm-hmm.
F that.
Vishal was the tiebreaker. I forgot what he had. Didn't he have an iPhone?
I don't know, and I'm not talking about Vishal right now. Vishal is going to be the main host of another podcast I'm going to be doing. I'll explain that maybe in the future. And then, yeah, Tangerine sounds really cool just for the idea, and I'm probably going to check it out. If I do, I'll give a review for it maybe on the show and also on my channel. And the last movie that we're going to be talking about in the movie releases is Boulevard, and that this is the last on-screen performance from Robin Williams.
Everyone gets your tissues.
I saw the trailer for this. Actually, I was supposed to go to the Montclair Film Festival, and this was a film that I was playing, but I'm like, I don't want to see this right now. I want to see Me and Earl and the Dying Girl, which I still haven't seen. I still haven't seen Me and Earl and the Dying Girl.
I haven't seen it either, but I feel bad for him that he hasn't seen it.
Yeah, I'm starting to. I've appreciated indies a lot more since last year.
Well, yes,
because a majority of the Best Picture nominees were indie films.
That's what I called it. I should have coined it. It was the year of the indies last year.
Yeah, he kept saying that. After they released all the Best Picture nominees for this past year's Oscars, he was like, it's the year of the indies. I couldn't agree with him more. But yeah, Boulevard, and the other cool person that's in this movie is my boy Bob Odenkirk, a.k.a. Saul Goodman. So, Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul fans will understand that. I'm looking at Matt. He hasn't finished Breaking Bad yet. The pain inside me is growing. Finished Breaking Bad.
One day.
No, now. After we record this episode. But yeah, the trailer was released, I believe, about 3 weeks ago for Boulevard, and it's a pretty sad trailer. I don't like how they're just saying, like, in his final on-screen performance, like, come on, guys. We know he's gone. You don't have to market it for us. You could just say Academy Award winner Robin Williams. You could just say that. You could just say Academy Award winner Robin Williams.
Well, I mean, I haven't seen anything about it, but I'm guessing it has to deal just from like the consensus of the movie, what it is, like the plot. That it's probably a very heavy movie, like a very dark, heavy.
Not dark like thriller, but it's like
no, I don't mean by thriller. I mean like a very slow but very dark. It deals with really like
it's only 88 minutes.
No,
not like fucked up like psychological. It's like personal stuff.
That's what I mean. Something like that, like depression and stuff like that.
Sort of, and supposedly the reason why I was sad was because when you watch the trailer, like if you read some stuff about him as he was passing away, that stuff articles that were explaining what happened to him around the time he passed, how he was in separate rooms and stuff, and how in this movie he and his wife are sleeping in separate rooms, like his character and his character's wife like sleeping in separate rooms. And supposedly around the time Robin died, he and his wife were sleeping in separate rooms. So it seems like it was a very personal movie, and from reviews, everyone's praising him. Like, there are people I know who are like, the film's okay, but it's worth seeing just for Robin Williams' performance. Now, would I be seeing this movie if Robin Williams was still alive? I have no clue. I really have no clue.
Yeah. It's like, well, it's probably going to be very hard to watch, I'm just going to guess.
Of course it is. Whenever an actor dies, it's
not
hard
just
to
that,
watch.
but just for like what it's about, plus that he's dead as well. Oh,
and also, but also it's a good thing that his last movie isn't going to be some like
cheerful
comedy, like because I mean he had so many movies come out. Like he has Boulevard, he had Night at the Museum 3,
which was okay.
He had this movie called Merry Freaking Christmas, which I heard was awful, and then he's having some movie out called Absolutely Anything, which is from one of the Monty Python guys, where he voices a dog, which is cool and everything. But this is technically his last on-screen performance, because in Absolutely Anything he's just doing a voice. So technically this is his last physical appearance on screen. I'm sure it's gonna be a hard movie to watch, but I don't know if this is on VOD either. So if it is, I'll probably watch it, and maybe we'll discuss it on next week's episode. So yeah, like maybe like if we see movies later on, we'll probably discuss it on the next episode of the podcast. So yeah,
I'm wondering if that maybe was the reason that pushed him overboard. For all we know.
No, it couldn't be. No, dude, he was suffering depression.
That's what I said. But what could have pushed him? As I said.
Well, I mean, his show was canceled.
That too. I forgot about that.
But
it was an okay show, though. I watched like the first episode.
I only saw the first episode too, so like I can't.
I mean, it wasn't. I mean, I just feel bad though with him that he got canceled.
Oh, I mean, just because the show got canceled, I wouldn't know if he would still be alive. Like, I don't know why he demand. Like, I don't want to talk about this very much because this isn't really a show where we would talk about this.
It's like some kind of. It's like you have to do it for another discussion completely. It's a very deep thing.
Yeah, exactly. But so yeah, those are the movies that are out this week.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're gonna give basically our box office predictions.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go first. I'm not gonna say how much money these movies are gonna make. I'm just gonna say what would number 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 be. I would say number 5 would be Magic Mike. Number 4 would be Terminator. 3, Jurassic World. 2, Inside Out. Number 1 could be Minions. Number 1 could easily be Inside Out.
Mm-hmm.
But we have no idea what's going to happen. Honestly, Minions is only going to be number 1 this week because obviously Ant-Man comes out next week. So that's going to be something.
I was going to say, I swear.
So yeah, if you want, go ahead, give your box office predictions.
I think that Magic Mike, it's going to be 10 to a Magic Mike. So we have 5. It depends on who's going to get more people in the end. And either movie could. We don't know. I would say agree. 4, probably Genesis. It's still popular. I mean, again, if you haven't seen Genesis, I wouldn't say it's the greatest movie, but you know.
Yeah, I did my review of the movie with him.
He's done like 3 things basically about it. So yeah, hi. If you haven't seen any stuff that involved him,
yeah, I'll bring that up at the end of the show.
Basically, just let y'all know. If you like Terminator, go see it. Like the first 2, if you like the first 2, and if you believe in what James Cameron said about it, go see it. If you don't, then just don't see it.
Go see that matinee, please.
Yes, don't see it.
And in 2D.
Yeah, see it in 2D. I would say that, I'm sorry to say this, I mean, I know, Brian, you're going to hate this, but I think possibly Inside Out might drop to 3.
I hope not. I'm really tired of Inside Out. Yeah, it finally became number 1 this past weekend, but I'm
barely.
Yeah, barely, because Jurassic World keeps making a shit ton of money.
I think it's like the 5th, isn't like one of like the 3rd domestically like largest fucking grossing movie of all time right now, I think.
It's like the 6th highest grossing film of all time right now.
Oh yeah, now I think about it, yeah, I remember when you were, just something else, but I remember like, good, I know you brought this up already, after I seen something with him on it, let's just say. But it is interesting though, yeah, like, the movies, all, like, the top 3, like, the last 3 on the list there, for the top 6, are from this year, so. That's interesting, though, how much money it's all making, but...
Well, I mean, now with movies being more expensive, people are just like, oh yeah, I'll go to the
movies. It's a blockbuster, I'll go see it. I don't give a shit if I haven't seen the other 3, it's like...
Yeah, whatever. Go ahead. So you're saying Inside Out will be number 3?
Barely. It's probably going to be about, maybe, I'm going to say in the thousands between, like, Inside Out and Jurassic World. I think Jurassic World's going to be solid number 2, barely. But I could be wrong, they could switch positions, okay? But I think I'll agree, though, with number 1 is Minions, I would say. Because, it's new. It's a new animated movie, everyone goes sees it.
Yeah. So, a few things to say before we wrap up the podcast. If you guys want to check out my other podcast, The Films Up, that is on my YouTube channel, where this podcast will be on. And the next episode I'll be doing for that show is on Natalie Portman. I rewatched a few Natalie Portman movies this past week in honor of the show.
Not Star Wars, not the Star Wars prequels. Oh, God.
I can't say
Please
that.
Please don't tell me you watched them again.
I can't say if I rewatched them or not. So whatever. And then I am doing the show with my friend Chase Lee called Top 5 Saturdays Live. Every Saturday we discuss the top 5 films of an actor, director, genre, and genre of a film that's coming out this week. Like this week we're doing Michael Keaton, Oscar winner. Oh wait, no. He's an Oscar nominee. That's right. Fuck you, Academy.
Why you gotta take the true story, people, man?
You begged. You wrote in your Theory of Everything review, I hope Eddie Redmayne gets the Oscar that he deserves.
Hey, should I say that was before I saw Birdman?
No, you saw Birdman first.
I don't remember.
You saw Birdman first.
Oh, shit.
I remember you seeing Birdman
Well,
first.
I take my words back.
You better take your words back, because I will smack that head out against your face.
Okay, at the time I wasn't thinking about it, but now since I was like, yeah, that Keaton's better.
Obviously Keaton is better because he's Batman. What did Eddie Redmayne do? Les Miserables. And yet, Cassette, I'm with you, Cassette.
Honestly, by the way, like, actually, no, that doesn't
anger me. And now Eddie Redmayne's going to be in the film that's a part of the Harry Potter series.
Oh, God. No, guess what angers me more than the freaking... I know I've said it multiple times, Brian, to you, and you probably agree with me. Why did they nominate Bradley Cooper over Jake Gyllenhaal? There you go.
We'll bring Jake Gyllenhaal up in 2 weeks when Southpaw comes out. So, yeah, and Top 5 Live Saturdays, you can go... I will put a link of the channel in the description below. And I was recently on Chase Lee's podcast, Reel Me In, a movie podcast. We talked about a bunch of trailers, one of them being the Creed trailer.
By the way, check that out. I watched it. It's good.
But you haven't seen the first Rocky! Confession, Matt has never seen the first Rocky film.
They should just call this the first episode, Confessions of an Idiot.
Yes, Confessions of an Idiot. Directed by Michael Bay.
Yes, Michael Bay. Just no reason. Throws his freaking pillow on the floor, explodes. Boom.
Correct. I throw a little pillow. It goes like ding, and then it explodes. Yeah, and then we talked about Terminator Genesis. I'll put a link for that episode in the description below as well. And, yeah, and there are a few podcasts I want to say you guys should go check out. One of them being the Schmells Zone podcast. Christian and Mark are great reviewers. They're good acquaintances of mine. I highly recommend you guys listen to their podcast. Another one. Yeah, everyone's at Comic-Con right now.
Comic-Con, yeah.
I don't, damn money. Damn you, New Jersey.
My second favorite expo I want to go to one time.
Second?
First is E3.
Oh, okay. Nah, Comic-Con's better.
Comic-Con
has more. It has movies, TV, and video games. What does E3 have? Games! That's it!
And technology.
That's still games! I don't... Yeah. Okay, check out Profiles with Malone and Mance. Every 2 weeks they discuss, basically, they go in depth about filmmaker, actor, genre, company.
Basically what he does.
Basically top 5 they know. They do it better than me. And you know what? I love Alicia Malone. And Scott Mans, a.k.a. as the schmoes call him, Cocaine Donkey. They work so well together. You know who they just did the recent episode on?
What?
Billy Wilder. You know what Billy Wilder directed? Oh,
shit.
A movie that we watched in literature and film.
Oh my God, that's a great Sunset Boulevard.
Correct.
That noir, man. His noir. If you haven't checked out Billy Wilder's noir, it's amazing. It's amazing. You have to watch it.
I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. Denell.
Oh, remember when Mike would keep going on about freaking...
Oh, yeah, speaking of Mike.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, speaking of Mike, his favorite actress is in a movie this week.
Oh, yeah! Yo, Mike, I know you're probably not watching this, but if you're watching this, please don't punch him. Please don't punch him.
Sandra Bullock is the greatest actress that's ever lived. I'm just kidding. No, she's good, but she's not incredible.
His hand just comes to the computer.
She was great in Speed. Don't you mock her for being in Speed. Okay. So that is it for this episode of the podcast. You guys could check me out whenever. You guys could follow me on YouTube and Instagram and Twitter and all that jazz. And
Good night, everybody.
yes, and Matt. And next week on our episode, we'll be talking about Comic-Con, and we'll also have our reviews or expectations on films like Ant-Man and Trainwreck. And that is it. Everybody, adios, sayonara, share this wherever.
Good night, good morning, wherever the hell you are. Yeah.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. All of you, stay awesome. Peace out.